Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And it comes from Iowa, where we have another school shooting in America. We're getting word now out of Dallas County, Iowa, there about a school shooting. Multiple people shot inside a high school. Thanks for joining us here at noon, everybody. I'm Jason Colthorpe.
And I'm Rhonda Walker. The shooting happened at the high school in Perry, Iowa this morning. It's about 40 miles northwest of Des Moines, Iowa. Here's what we know so far. At 7:40 this morning Central Time, police got their first reports of an active shooter at Perry High School. It is being reported that 2 students and a school administrator were shot and have been taken to the hospital. It's unclear the extent of their injuries at this time. Police say that the shooter is dead from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Details are still developing, as you might imagine, so we're going to continue to keep you updated both here on the air and on clickondetroit.com. In other news this noon, the case of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who died in prison in 2019. Unsealed documents from a lawsuit connected to the case have been released, at least in partial, and they include reference to well-known public figures, politicians, and celebrities.
NBC's Laura Jarrett spent most of the night going through those documents and joins us now with more.
For the first time, hundreds of court records tied to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, now made public. The more than 900 pages of materials previously deemed confidential includes references to familiar names, from politicians to celebrities, many of them previously linked to Epstein before his suicide in 2019. Former President Bill Clinton and Donald Trump mentioned in deposition transcripts. Both have denied any wrongdoing. In one, a woman who once worked for Epstein recalled he spoke to her about Clinton, saying Epstein told her one time, quote, that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. A spokesman for Clinton referred NBC News to a prior statement from 2019 saying he had not spoken to Epstein in over a decade and was unaware of Epstein's crimes. The same woman says Epstein once suggested calling Trump for an outing in Atlantic City. Other prominent names also littered throughout the documents, including the late pop star Michael Jackson and magician David Copperfield, mentioned as being at Epstein's house in Palm Beach, Florida, according to one survivor who says Copperfield asked, quote, if I was aware that girls were getting paid to find other girls. He did not immediately return a request for comment. All of the details contained in the official court records from a civil suit filed by Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre against Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime girlfriend and accomplice, who is currently behind bars for sex trafficking. Giuffre reiterated in her now unsealed deposition she was directed to have sex with Britain's Prince Andrew, something he has repeatedly denied. The two later settled a separate sex abuse lawsuit. Giuffre telling Savannah in 2019,
how did this happen for so long?
Sigrid McCauley, Giuffre's attorney, says her client supports the documents being made public, and they only begin to scratch the surface.
We learn more each time about how this sophisticated trafficking operation happened for so many decades and how many people were involved. It was vast, it was significant, and it harmed literally hundreds of young women.
That was Laura Jarrett reporting there. Other news this afternoon, Warren police releasing video of a deadly police chase there to show exactly what happened. It started with a traffic stop at 10 Mile and Ryan last Tuesday. This is the 24-year-old who was behind the wheel. Police say he was driving without a license, and that's the moment he takes off. Now, take a look at where the chase goes. Off the road, onto grassy areas, through a long field here behind an apartment building before the suspect gets back on the city streets and crashes after going through a red light here and crashes underneath that Penske truck. He was killed there in that crash. Police say they found a gun in that car. Now, following complaints from the victim's family, the police chief says that stop and the chase were both by the book.
Pittsfield Township police are asking for your help today to help locate a missing 37-year-old man. His name is Kayan Thaxton. This is a picture of him, and his family has not heard from him since November 18th of last year. Thaxton is homeless and occasionally stays at local shelters. He has been without his medication and may need medical attention. If you think you've seen him, may know where he is, police and Pittsfield Township police would like for you to give them a call.
New here at noon, the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge has been delayed nearly a year. The new international crossing from Michigan to Canada now looks like it's not going to be ready to be used until September of 2025. Take a look at it this afternoon. The ongoing construction there, which was originally expected to be done by November of this year. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority says the delay was caused by the pandemic and the overall complexity of the project. Construction began in 2018.
When you see it, it is complex. You can understand why they may want a little more time.
No argument there.
Yes. Yeah. If you have travel plans in 2024, of course, you know that you need to arrive at the airport early, but construction on the roadways on the airport property, you're going to need to allow extra time for that as well at Metro Airport.
I want to be running late and then hit a roadblock at the airport.
Right.
Nick Monticelli has a look at the work that's set to get underway there.
Good afternoon. When this project starts on Monday, it is going to be a monumental shift in traffic in front of the McNamara terminal. Now, I'll be honest, though, the first phase isn't that bad. Take a look at this. I know it's kind of hard to see on the map, but it is going from Monday to the end of February. The first phase, one lane gets closed on both the north and southbound side to give crews room to work in the median, repairing parts of the shoulder and building crossovers. Then there's phase 2, though. That's a much bigger deal, going from March of this year to mid-2025. 6 lanes of traffic going down to 3. The northbound side of Dingle gets shut down, and only 1 lane of northbound traffic gets moved to the southbound side. 2 southbound lanes stay open. So what is being done? It's an $85.5 million project and a long list. Road resurfacing, additional lighting, ventilation improvements, fire protection, overhead signage, structural repairs, and stormwater drainage improvements. Now that's a big one because, you know, the tunnels on Dingle Drive tend to flood pretty bad when we have a good amount of rain. This is video from August of last year. You can see what a mess it is. So this construction project and improvements should prevent this from happening again. Now, to make matters worse, here's the issue. This is kind of a 3-phase project. We're talking about phases 1 and 2, but another construction project is being designed as we speak. That one will go when phase 2 ends, all the way to 2027. I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, Nick. The winner of the 2024 NACT Toy Awards have been announced. These are the best cars and trucks and utility vehicles of the year.
And one of the Detroit 3 took home an award with the Ford Super Duty winning truck of the year. Certainly Ford's had a lot of winning ways this year. The best car this year was right here, the Toyota Prius. And when it comes to utility vehicles, Kia's EV9 is taking home the gold.
There you go.
Federal officials believe they'll cut interest rates this year, but there's no specific timetable for when the rate cuts will occur. That's according to the minutes of the Fed's December meeting, which were released yesterday. Officials see 3 rate cuts coming this year, but they're uncertain of when the rate cuts will happen. The first meeting of the Fed this year takes place later this month on January 30th and 31st.
All right, last game of the season for the Lions. And guess what, WDIV insiders? We're giving away 2 tickets so you can head on over to Ford Field, see the Lions go head-to-head with the Vikings. According to the head coach, they want to go into the playoffs with momentum, so this might not be, all reserves in this one. If the Lions want to win this one and going on an up note, you have until noon tomorrow to get entered. You can do it at our contest page or at clickondetroit.com, and we will announce the winners right here during the show tomorrow at noon.
Definitely fun to be at Ford Field for
Always.
a Lions game this season. So good luck. And inside probably the operative word for a day like today.
Yeah, Ashley, they're not going to need to bundle up for the game, right? It's a controlled environment.
That's right. Now, I have to say, I'm going to switch from Lions to Michigan here. You normally hear me say go blue. This is a different kind of go blue. Look at these skies above the downtown skyline. We're finally seeing some blue peeking through that cloud cover, so we get a few pockets of sunshine this afternoon. However, the pitfall is it won't warm us up very much. We'll be in the upper 20s at this lunch hour in Detroit. We sit at 24 in Howell, Pontiac, 26 in Adrian. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, still making it feel a whole lot cooler out there. We have teens on the map for our wind chills in Sandusky, Pontiac, Ann Arbor, Flint. Low 20s from City Airport over to Metro and in Monroe. So that's what it feels like as you step outside. If you're looking for the sun, you'll see it in Mount Clemens, City Airport, Metro Airport, Monroe, Ann Arbor, and portions of the Pontiac area. You go farther inland, still holding on to the cloud cover. So the sun doesn't last all that long. We get a few slivers here and there before it builds back in, heading into your Friday. Your forecast, though, for the rest of the afternoon, today's the coldest day of the week. We only top out right around the freezing mark, but we'll talk about some snow chances in just a few minutes.